Hey there, it's Jack and Key. Happy New Year's Eve. I thought it'd be a cool New Year's tradition to... For a second there, I thought that was some porn 5-star, right off the bat, and it's gonna get caught off guard. As I was saying though, I thought it'd be cool to do a fun yearly tradition for Gaming Show going forward, and just talk about the last year for me. From the channel standpoint, from gaming standpoint, but also from an IRL standpoint, just because that just feels in the spirit of this particular series. I may be all over the place because I swear I have the memory of a goldfish, but that's why I think I can get away with it for Game Show and all. So 2019, I had some highs and lows. I feel like everyone's kind of been through that whole point though. First thing that comes to mind is just related to the improvements I made in my own life for the time being. Yeah, this is what I get for trying to do this after a long walk in the winter. I'm just kind of like... more or less. Still got 2 hours to go before midnight and I'm all ready, worn out. Where did I even start? Just feels like... This is what I mean about just having the emotional memory of a goldfish. Pardon that cut, I didn't miss that much, but I was just all over the place. So I decided to do something a little more mindless. Well, I'm just getting my thoughts out of the way, or at least finding a place to start. Anyways, 2019 has been an interesting year for me. I do feel like I have improved in a few ways and still have some things needed to improve in other ways. Unfortunately, the only thing coming to mind is related to dieting. I haven't really tried going on a diet, but 2019 I spent a lot of time introducing new healthier foods into my lifestyle, and while they haven't exactly replaced some of the unhealthy stuff I have, the goal is to get used enough to the healthy stuff to slowly be able to wean away the unhealthy stuff. For example, what stands out in my mind real much this year was the fact that I finally picked up on tea. For the longest time I couldn't really get into tea, coffee, or any caffeinated drink besides Mountain Dew. And you can probably see what the problem with that is. But I finally found a way to just enjoy tea on a regular basis. It started with just herbal tea for the morning up to work, but since it's herbal tea, there's no caffeination to it, so it's all mind games. But eventually I decided to just try black tea, and then I found that if I do black tea and mix some honey and cinnamon with it, I actually really like it, and it's got a point where it can usually replace any sort of soda or energy drink that I would normally have in the work morning. There's been little things like that, I've been getting more into strawberries after Celeste, and with strawberry season over, I've been trying to get into other things too, like raspberries, I think. So I might be able to slowly sweeten those things into my daily schedule as well, and at some point it would eventually be replacing the sweets that I would have. Dark chocolate was another big thing too that I picked up this year of 2019. And I first got into dark chocolate with some drinks or with some candy bars that coworkers were selling at work. So I decided to explore my options with dark chocolate on my own, and I really like it. I like it more than milk chocolate at this point. So it's just a matter of replacing more desserts and things like that I would eat with dark chocolate, and that in of itself would be a big improvement in of itself. And I guess that's just the whole theme for this year in general. Not having any one major accomplishment, but having a bunch of little things that I feel are going to add up into a great 2020. For example, like I still at the job that I am, and I'm still not quite happy with the pay that I'm getting out of it. But I have been making more and more quality of life improvements to make the office feel like home until I can get a better job. And do things in between, and just continue to keep looking for work and continue to do other things like that. I finally took a major step in the whole apartment hunting thing. It's something that's been in the back of my mind and I wanted to do for a very long time, but like I never always like put in the back burner. And later on this year, I actually finally like found an apartment that I like and looked it up. As I went over to it and checked out the place. Unfortunately, it didn't really work to my favor. Part of the reason I wanted to move into it was because it was cheap. And it was advertised to look like that it had Wi-Fi, so that would be one less cost I have to worry about. But unfortunately, like the label online was a little bit misleading, and I wasn't really too much of a fan of the place once I actually got there to check it out. But I checked out an apartment, which is a huge step from what I've done in the past. Just want to make sure I don't accidentally release something significant as I'm going through with this. It kind of wasn't intended to be something I did this year, but 2019 I actually got myself a new car, which is a major step in of itself. I've had the car that I've had for a while, and this is the first car that I've actually bought for myself. I've gotten cars in the past, but they were usually like hand-me-downs, or I would buy them off a family member. So that was a major step in of itself to make. Yeah, it's a little... I haven't had quite enough time with it yet to really give like a review of how the car is and all that, but so far I really like it. And I just feel like it's going to be a major asset. No more worrying about the car saga, because even though I didn't still have to get the issues of the old car fixed. I don't have to worry about like slowing down my day-to-day, because I have something new to replace it with. And this isn't my first smart car, so like I've grown to actually spend a lot of my music listening between podcasts and stuff off the YouTube Music app, and just listening to videos in the background, and now I can easily do that on my commute to work without worrying about risking to be an unsafe driver. I always do it safely, like it stays in my glove compartment. In the past it just stays in my cup holder. I only reach over when I'm at like a stop to like change the channel or something like that. But now I can do it all right from my car without like any distraction whatsoever. So I think that in itself is going to be a major improvement on my life. It's got a whole bunch of other quality of life improvements as well. What else is really of note with 2019? Why can't... Come on. I just want to change the name of this freaking trooper. There we go. So... I guess another thing of note of 2019 is I've gotten a lot more into art. because art was always something that I've done on the side and all, but I think ever since I did Sketchtember, I've had a huge artistic spurt, and I feel like I've been uploading more arts on like Twitter and DeviantArt and other social medias where I commonly do share images and all. So that's something I hope to bring into 2020. I think the big thing was I just had to push myself, or more so the opposite. Like, I put so much emphasis on trying to do as much with YouTube as possible, because I just have it stuck in my head that it's the only one of my hobbies that has any sort of potential to become a career, because YouTubers are a big thing. But what I can never really get drilled into my head is that there's already a lot of YouTubers. It's a saturated market, and it doesn't really mean much if you could be profitable, that if you could get big enough to actually do it someday, if you don't. So I just want to keep more focused on what makes me happy. And that doesn't mean that YouTube doesn't make me happy. It just means that I was always feels like I was sacrificing too many of my other hobbies just to put as much time into content creation as possible. And I think through that, I was able to push myself to actually do a wider variety of stuff online. Between like finally getting the podcast going consistently and the art, to just starting up Go Purified K, the Pokemon Go Instagram account that I started for myself. I feel like all that wouldn't have been possible if I just took some time to reflect and just tell myself that it's okay, that I don't have to spend all my spare time making videos. I can explore other things. It's not gonna hurt any potential to do anything creative, to turn something creative I'm doing into a career and all. If anything, I'm just widening the avenues. Like, I'm probably a better artist than I am a YouTuber, so even if the art field doesn't feel like it has any potential to turn into a career, doing art is not only enjoyable, but just the passion alone may allow me to reach out to an audience that I would normally miss out on. So that's another part of the big theme with content creation in general in 2020. To be fair, like, it's kind of I wouldn't say that as a result of me doing the things that I'm doing now with the channel, but it does make a good segue, so I want to take a minute to talk about some of the stuff that I started up in 2019. Because of my dumb poor memory, I don't remember every LP that I've done, but I am kind of proud of like all the side projects that I've picked up on. Like, I wasn't sure if Mario Maker was the thing that I wanted to do, but I wanted to do more with voting for level for Morning Mario, because I know how much just rating levels helps out that YouTube series. And the biggest way for me to actually be inspired to do something is if I can record of it. Because if I'm recording myself doing it, then I feel like I'm getting two things out of it. The thing I want to do, and a video of the thing I want to do. So that's honestly the biggest inspiration for doing this stuff with Mario Maker that I'm doing on YouTube. And I think like the grab bag week in general was a great idea, because there's a lot of different things I want to do, but I also want to have a consistent schedule, and it kind of makes it harder to do things, find room for like one-off things or things that I want to do more than one video of, but I'm not sure if I can do it consistently enough to upload it on a weekly basis. So not only does having a grab bag week give me a bit of a break, because that was another problem with content in the past years that I wanted to improve with 2019. My biggest obstacle with trying to have a consistent schedule was just the fact that I didn't think I could make make enough videos to upload frequently. Kind of leaving me in a little bit of an iffy situation. So I just needed to take a little brain break to make sure I thought of everything before going on to what I wanted to do with 2020. Think like, shoot, and I had it, but of course when I hit the record button I kind of just am like, nope. It's been a nice year for Pokemon Go while I'm sitting here enjoying it. You can tell from this new buddy feature that I'm pulling up and playing around with. If he actually would take in the berry the first time I had it, that would be all fine and dandy too. I just realized that you guys are gonna see it on the video recording and how awkward it must look. Let me get out of that. I just want to take a moment to appreciate the music in here because this is the first time I'm hearing it, and it's a nice pleasant sound. Pokemon Go music is a fairly underrated thing. While I'm just in the tangent of not being sure where I left off on, let me talk about how underrated Pokemon Go music is. Especially for someone like me who usually plays this game without any audio. Just something that's real easy to miss out on. You know, I'm actually just trying to get my Tranitar up to the excited mood. See if I can get 2 buddies maxed out in emotion in a single day. Cause I already got like my Raikou done before I even got out of work. I watched up in a video recently that actually clears things up with how the whole buddy system works, and made me realize I was barking up the wrong tree for a lot of it because I was just like trying to walk out and spin every single gym possible to try and max it out, when spinning gyms, aka visiting a new location, was something that was actually like time blocked. I knew a lot of other activities were time blocked, but not that one apparently. So I feel like I'm doing the whole buddy grind a lot smarter instead of just harder, which is good because I was just on the fence of giving up on that and just like not even worrying about it most of the time. But going into 2019, there's just a lot of things like that, and I know as soon as I start talking about the frickin' 2020 stuff is when I'm gonna remember what I was doing for 2019. It's not what I wanted to say, but one thing that did happen that I think was neat was we finally got the trainer battle system in Pokemon Go. And I honestly was waiting for that for a long time because I just knew that we're gonna get... For those of you who have been following the channel for a long time, you would already know that there's a period of time that I was actually fairly into competitive Pokemon. I wasn't like great or significant at it, but I do a lot of Pokemon battling on my video, and it was just an interesting time in my life that I wouldn't mind like recreating. And with the Self League and all that, I'm pretty sure that that's something I've been able to revisit. And minus the fact that like tournaments are usually at the end of the year, so I don't really get to go out and actually get a video out for you guys while still relevant. Like a Self League Cup will probably be over by the time I upload the video because our local community doesn't have those type of tournaments until like the last weekend of the year, or of the month. It feels like the last weekend of the year sometimes. And I know that makes a difference because the one time that we did have a tournament super early and I was actually able to get a video out early on, that did really well. It did much better than my usual content, Pokemon Go related and non-Pokemon Go related. I mean, I guess there could be other factors, like Timeless Cup in general is a fickle beast because we had that huge meta shakeup right in the middle of the month, which probably threw off a lot of people who probably were like scavenging throughout the internet trying to find videos to actually give them a guide through with it. But that just gives me the impression that there is definitely potential for me to actually be able to go somewhere with PvP videos. I just need to be more timely with it. And considering I work a full-time job, I may not actually be able to achieve that to the level that would satisfy the internet. But it does like give me hope with exploring other ideas going forward in the future. And it makes me look forward to this whole thing that we're getting soon with PvP. The whole like official Pokemon Go battles thing that they're doing in 2020. I see myself like just spending videos laddering through it, kind of like how I spent like the early X and Y days just laddering through Battle Spot on YouTube. I could find myself doing a show series like that, and that wouldn't be totally reliant on being timely with the Sylph League tournament, so maybe there'd be potential for people to see that. I don't want to promise anything right away, because I want to just see how things fit in my schedule first. There's already so many projects I want to do, and not so little free time to actually do them all in. So, but it is something I want to do. Going into 2020. Oh yeah, I'm actually. I feel like there was quite a few LPs I did in 2019 that just allow me to just recapture a little bit of the feel of my early days of LPing. Just not the same style, but just a similar feel of being really passionate about the thing I was playing. First fruits and things like that are fun and all, but just being able to revisit something that means a lot to you has a whole other feel to it, and it was nice to revisit that again. It's kind of weird that like my favorite LP of 2019 was of a game that I just played in that year though, but Celeste is a really good game, and I'm looking forward to covering the post game in 2020 to the point that I almost want to rush out the first fruit so I can revisit it. The only reason I didn't like start uploading post game stuff right away is because even though I have a few videos ready to go, I don't want a situation where I'm just uploading it on and off again as I have videos ready with like long breaks in between. And this first fruit is all recorded, and I got like the first few episodes edited. I just gotta sit down and do something with them. I just gotta finish editing the rest of the series and doing PvP. I can't believe I almost released the Swab Blues. I need to sit down and look at them, because like one of these may make a good Altaria for the Sylph League Cup for this month. So I just gotta come back to this when I'm not just subconsciously going through pressing the transfer button and figure out which one I keep from there. But enough tangents. You probably are curious what my plans are for 2020, and I only just scratched the surface. A lot of it's I want to feel out how the Battle League works before I make any commitments to that plan, but mind you, it is definitely something I want to keep in mind. And Celeste will be coming back, if I can help it, in February, but I also don't want to rush out Kirby's Adventure. Will that series start by the time this is uploaded? Well, if not, the cat's out of the bag. I've been not so subtly hinting at what it is anyways. But yeah, Kirby's Adventure is technically a game I've never played. I've played the remake for GBA, Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland, but I don't think I ever actually played the original, and if not, I've never actually touched the NES Classic folder. So those things in themselves are definitely going to be a new experience for yours truly. and leads to some interesting shenanigans along the way. Like, my commentary for the first 3 episodes was really something unique in and of itself. So it'll be interesting to see how that is created going forward. And as I was saying, Celeste will probably finish after that, or come back after that. I've recorded at least a taste of every single B-side, but I'll talk more about that when we actually start covering the B-sides. Everything else is still in the air, but I want to try to keep consistent with it. Like, I want to keep doing podcasts every Monday, even if I'm just doing days that I don't have a podcast to upload with audio commentary recordings of Game and Chill. I also want to keep up with Friday being Game and Chill, because that in and of itself is a nice feature to have. Basically, everything that I'm doing now, I want to keep doing, because I feel like they all have a niche that they scratch. But there definitely are still other ideas I want to explore as well. And as I said, I only have so much time, so we'll just have to play by ear and see what I'm able to actually pull off in 2020. I'm just really looking forward to doing more Celeste. That game's just pretty much like, I don't care if I become a Celeste channel after this LP is over. I haven't been doing ideas of exploring speedrun, but I honestly thought it would be with Pikmin before it would be with Celeste. But I definitely at least already been practicing doing double dash runs. And I think if nothing, I'll admit, like, I wish that Celeste was doing better, that more people were able to watch and enjoy it. But I don't blame. It's not like Pokemon, so I kinda get it. And if nothing else, especially now that the main story is over and we're going to post-game and stuff that is technically blind to me, Celeste LP is more for capturing my first impression. It's something I want to catalog. I want to catalog my entire experience with this game from beginning to end. And that in and of itself justifies uploading it for me. Like, I've kind of mentioned before just how often I'm just filled with how far ahead I am with recordings. Like, as I've said, I've done like every single B-side for at least half an hour on recording, minus like the last one, because that was actually gated to Soul Hearts, which I don't have enough of yet. Let me just toss them, guys, so we can actually go. I'm not gonna do any more draws because I don't really feel like juggling the space anymore. But if nothing else, I suppose I can just run for some other gameplay on here as I'm finishing up my thoughts. And I think I'm about at the point of wrapping up my thoughts anyways. 2019 has been a nice year. Hasn't been the greatest, but it hasn't been the worst. And I feel like it's definitely laid out some groundwork for 2020. I'm really looking forward to exploring the avenues that I opened up for the experimentation that I've done in this year. Now, as much as I want to like do a whole century overview, I can't even remember everything I've done in this year. So remembering like how much I've grown as a person throughout an entire decade just feels like way too much for me. But I know that like my health has gotten even better since then. The release of Pokemon Go in that decade in and of itself like been a major improvement for my health, like, because for a while I wasn't, like, probably before the decade or early on in the decade, I was actually really into treadmill walking because I would like edit a video and then overview it while I was walking on the treadmill, but I kind of fell out of that because I'll be honest, I stopped watching my old videos to overview them, and with that, treadmilling just fell by the wayside. But then Pokemon Go came around, and that kind of let me pick up on walking and get back into it with more of a vengeance than other. Then there's just like all the health improvements I've made in this year alone. I'm no longer... I guess another key point about this decade is I've actually working a pretty stable job. It may not pay as much as I want, may leave some room for lacking. Not all my family's happy with it, but it is at least a job that is full-time and has a lot of elements to it that I enjoy, which is more than a lot of people can ask out of a job. There's a lot of people that are just like stuck in a retail job, and working in Kmart for like a couple of years, I know exactly just how much being stuck in the retail business works, and I just imagine like how much damage it does to your self-esteem and all that. So improvement on that in general certainly helps. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it off here before I like go on to any longer tangent. Happy New Year, everyone. Hope your 2019 had... I'm not gonna say hope your 2019 was good, because not everyone has that luxury. But I hope there was at least something of value out of 2019, and I hope 2020 is even better for you. It's not going to be easy. There's probably going to be a couple rough patches in life, but I'm sure if you dig enough, there'll be some light at the end of the tunnel. And I don't know how much I can do to help. I'm gonna end this off before I'm getting awkward, because I really shouldn't be trying to push a motivating speech when I'm worn out myself. But I can definitely relate to the highs to the lows of life. Best thing that's helped me out is just getting closer to my friends, finding people to talk to. That stuff alone really helps you for some of the more darker points in life. So if I can only wish one thing for everyone, it would be that. Someone that they can talk to. Okay, for real, take care. Sorry.